We're gonna have wins, we're gonna have losses. And you're gonna fail. And you're gonna fail. And you're gonna fail. And then you're gonna win. And that's life.
I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are. There are some times when things aren't going to go right, and you have to deal with it. You can experience enough pain in life that it can clobber you to the ground, and you believe you can't do it. You believe that this is it for you. No, it's not.
This is Tarron of Twist Mesquite Performance Horses. Today we are doing a review with Hottie. This is a horse that we own. She is a Hottish out of a money-earning daughter of Highbrow Cat that won $16,000 in the cutting. This horse was shown her 3-year-old year. After that, we brought her home and had her turned out for a little while, and we brought her back into full-time training December of last year. So we've been just going through and kind of filling holes in her training that she has, and continuing to progress her towards getting her back into the show pen. So this is we just want to kind of do some review with her, kind of some things that we've been working on, some things that some of these older colts will be doing on them, and kind of the direction we're wanting to take these horses, these colts. Just kind of showing a better picture, a picture of what an older trained horse would look like. So with her, I've been the warming up we've been doing. I want her to travel around this circle, and they call it bending with vertical. So just like on our colts, we're bending them around, right here, and wanting their head to come around and touch their shoulder and travel around this circle. I want to have some vertical. I want her to tuck her head when I pick up on these reins. When I pick up on these reins, I want her to give, and then I'll give back to her. But it's just as light. I want to be able to pick up on these reins and her give, just ever so lightly. I don't want to have to sit. I don't want to have to drag my hands back and forth, jerk her around. I want to be able to just pick up and ask her lightly, and her give to that pressure, and give back to me. And so this week, this is part of the warm-up we're doing. I want her to, like I said, I want her to find that spot right there and get soft. Want her to step her shoulders over as we go off into this other side, and do the same on this side. Want her to step around here, around this circle, moving forward and bending and being soft right here. Bending to my hands, or giving to my hands, and me giving back to her. That's a big thing on these horses. I want to, when I pick up, they give, I give a little bit back to them. I don't hold it tight right here. I'll give my hands back to them ever so lightly, so that they're always hunting that softness and that soft feel. But this right here, them getting used to stepping up here into this circle will be good for, if we're asking them to turn around, because then I can just put my hands on them and keep her in that frame, and she steps around. And so we're gonna, another thing we're working on is getting her soft right here at this trot. I just want to pick up on this inside rein, have my inside foot on her. And do the same on this side. I want her nose to kind of come towards that shoulder and pick up and go around the circle. You know, but she's getting soft through her body. I want her to be soft through her body and soft in my hands as well. I like this, you know, she's getting softer right here to where I can pick these reins up, take her head to the other side, and she doesn't raise that head up too much or fight. You know, the softer she gets, the more she'll just move that head back over there and take her body in that direction. So just like I did at the walk, I want to work on this bending at the vertical with vertical, but at the trot. And so I want to pick up on these reins, pick up on that outside rein, and have her kind of push up into her face here. I want to be able to pick my hands up and her give there, but we're moving forward. Same with this side. I want her to get comfortable at wherever we're going. If we're moving forward, backward, left or right, I want her to get comfortable with carrying her head and neck, her body in these different positions to where I can pick her up and put her where I need to put her. And so I can I can work on any independent deals. See right here, I just want her to, she's got a little deal right there to where she still isn't super comfortable with trotting out, going this, getting soft right here and trotting out. So she thinks that she has to lope off when I put my foot on her, but that's just from things she was patterned to do as a 2 and 3 year old. We'll just help her work through it. You know, at any gait here, I want to be able to pick up on my reins and her give. And if she doesn't, I'm gonna put my feet into her a little bit more until she gives to me. She has a tendency to get kind of concerned and worried about stuff and raise that head and not think about giving to that pressure. And so I want to work on that, be able to work on that at a walk and a trot, at a canter. I want her to be soft and through all gaits, so that we can do things like lead changes and tracking cattle at a fast pace, stopping, going down the fence. I mean, just whatever we want to do. It all starts with getting them soft in our hands, getting their body soft. Another thing we're working on is a steering exercise. So when I come up here at the end, I want to be able to pick up and her get soft in my hands. And she sees all this going on over here with the camera. She's kind of worried and concerned about it. We're just going to keep going anyway. If she speeds up too much, I want to pick her up. I want her to get soft in my hands. See, when she I want her to trot up here, or to lope up here, give to my hands, and come back. See right here, she's not giving to me. She's not picking that belly up and dropping that head. More so, it's her getting stiff and thinking she has to raise that head up and hollow that back out. So I want her to, when I pick up, she gets soft. And when I don't want her to slow down, I want her to keep moving forward. Pick up and put my feet on her. I want her to pick that back up and give to me, not throw that head up in the air. She had some bad habits that she got just from not getting her body soft early in her training. And when it comes to training these horses, it's the why is not as important as the is. And what do I mean by that? I mean it doesn't matter at this stage, at this point, that why something happened or why a horse does what they do or was doing. See, I'm gonna pick her up and hold until she gets soft right there. So what I mean by what is, so if a horse is acting a certain way, it's our job to handle that and to address it. Doesn't matter who did what, or this thing happened, or it was this with this trainer, the why, it's irrelevant. It's just an excuse that people give themselves to not handle what is going on. My responsibility is to have this horse understand what I want her to do and how I want her to be. Doesn't matter how she was trained or how she was taught to think. Our job, she's my horse right now, she's my responsibility. It's my responsibility to help her understand what I want her to understand. And so I'm gonna hold her right here with my legs and my hands until she gets soft. just because she's concerned about what's going on doesn't mean that she gets to holler her back out and throw her head up in there and brace against my hands. Put my hands on her, my feet, until she gets soft. And when she relaxes some, we'll take her to the middle and let her rest. So it's something that we are actively working on with her. I do know that she can carry herself well for what we're needing her to do. We're having to kind of rewire her brain a little bit to think about, the first thing she needs to think about is when I pick up on these reins, she gets soft. And rather than think about bracing up against my hands, against my hands and pushing against that bridle, pushing against that bit. I want to be able to pick up at any place, at any point, at any stage, in any maneuver, and I want to be able, her to think about getting soft, to giving to that pressure rather than pushing into it or resisting that pressure. We're going to continue working on that right there. Next week, I do think that I'm going to work on just loping around and making sure that every time I pick up, she gives to me just like that right there. That she gives right here, just like that. And she lopes around there soft and collected. And we're going to kind of come back a few steps and kind of work on those components of that, because she's showing me, when you step a horse up and you find those spots to where you're finding that resistance, for me, I kind of see, well, can we kind of work through it over the next few days and kind of see if she gets it and she understands, or do we need to go back a couple steps and get some of those components better before then we start and go again. So another thing we're working on with her, again, even in this backup, I want her to give to my hands. And so, I want her, so with this exercise here, we're wanting her to drive up into that stop and come back. And then I'm putting my leg on her, and I want her to move that shoulder over as we're backing up. And I want her to get soft in my hands, just like that. So I want to have cadence coming backwards. I want her soft in my hands, and I want her picking that shoulder up and coming back to where I have that shoulder picked up out of the way. If I want to take her back across here, then I can. And it's the same. So I back her up, and I can pick that shoulder up and have her come back in the same way this way. But all through there, she's soft, she's in my hands, and I want the same in all maneuvers. If we're moving forward, backward, left or right, I want her soft in my hands at this stage. And so just like right here, so I'm asking that shoulder to move kind of separate. We're kind of creating two tracks. So I want that shoulder to come separate, then her hind end, and her to be soft in my hands. And then I let her out of it. And then I trot her up into her face. And then come back, and where we can do it the other direction. She was kind of pushing into my hands a little bit, so I got after her a little bit with my hands. Made sure she got soft, and then I quit her. So again, I want her to trot up into her face, and when I take my hands off, I want her to come back. Then I put my foot on her separate. Again, she's pushing into my hands. So I got after her a little bit. She was kind of moved her shoulders over a little too much. About right there. Let her quit. So just like that exercise there, I want to be able to back these circles soft. I want her head coming to me, not pushing on my hands, but it's soft, coming back, and I'm backing her up with my body and my feet being on her. And we bring her back out into this back up straight, and then back this other way. But see, she's not pushing, she's not heavy on my hands, she's giving softly, and she's being respectful to my hands. And just like going forward, I want to be able to take her side by side, her head on either side, and then back circle that other direction, and keep her feet moving. So being able to pick her shoulder up and move it out of the way to where she brings that head to her shoulder and then comes through that turn has been big for her. I've noticed with me, before we got to this point, I was letting her turn with her nose off over here somewhere, rather than her having that nose tipped up here into the shoulder and following that nose through the turn. And so that's something that I've corrected. The biggest thing in life and with these horses is that awareness. Making sure that you're aware of the things that you need to do in order to improve, and to where you're able to do the things that you need to do to get better. But creating that awareness is just getting in front of those people and getting in that environment so that you can see what's possible and you can see how to get better. And so that's a review with her for this week. Just kind of wanted to show where she's at, and as we're progressing her in our training, just kind of show what we're working on. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's what we're working on with her, and we wanted to share that with you. So that's our review with her today. Catch you on the next one.